rocking the heat. Haircut. In the last video, I think I had my hair cut, but I had a hat on. I don't know if you guys have seen my hair chopped off. Anyways, I got a haircut. I also chopped this off at one point. You guys probably noticed that. That was more so a deal. I kind of was just getting tired of it, but at the same time, the straw that broke the camel's back was my wife making a joke about it. I was like, you know, I kind of chuckled back, but I was like, yeah, I think I'll get rid of it. But anyways, just thought I would find some time on my drive today to make a little video, because got to run a couple errands. One of which is I got a test print of a proof print of the label for Sticky Stinger. Now, no, maybe I'll talk about that here at the end. Anyway, so yeah, that's one of my errands. One of my other errands is I've got some mail coming from late for work, and I don't want it sitting in the mailbox because it's actually supposed to be fairly warm today. Even though they use that good packaging, that's that NASA space bag material, whatever it is. I think that's what Tony Reeves called it. Anyways, so I'm gonna go grab that. What else? I think that's about it. If you guys are curious about little Mousy, I set Mousy free yesterday. It was eating solids consistently and drinking on water and stuff by itself. It had definitely moved on from needing liquid food, that's for sure. So, yep, it was time to set him free. So little Mousy's gone into the woods where I found him. Which this is actually a pretty good time for that, because when I found him, or her, whatever, found it, it was actually starting to drop into like the mid-30s at night. But now it's up into the mid-40s or higher, and the days are going to be warm for a little while. Let it climatize a little easier, because it's been in a warm container for the whole time I've had it on a warm pad. So anyways, enough about that. Let's get on to the topic at hand. Got some sauce. Gonna crack it open here in a second. Got a couple twisties. But the sauce I've got is a lemon pepper sauce that I just kind of dreamed up, I guess. I've been always wanting to have one, I guess, well, not always, but for a couple months, it's always been in my head. Lemon pepper sauce. I like lemon pepper seasoning on chicken and fish. Don't use it very often. Maybe that's why I like it so much. You know, it's one of those things, if you use it too often, you don't really enjoy it as much. But anyways, so it's a thicker sauce. Not sure if you guys are going to be able to tell, but it's a little bit thicker sauce. You can see the color of it. And before it was that color, I hadn't added olive oil to the mix yet. And it just wasn't the consistency I wanted it to be. I added some olive oil. The amount is irrelevant. But I added some olive oil, started pureeing it more, and boom, the color changed and the consistency changed. Ended up being what I think is about perfect. So it's got chia seeds in there for a little bit of a thickening aid. I'm not sure if they're necessary, but I think what I'll do next time, which just dawned on me, is because I thought maybe pureeing after being cooked at a high enough temperature, after pureeing long enough, they would have broken down, but they're still a decent size, like full size. But I think what I need to do is get a spice grinder or use a coffee grinder and grind the chia seeds up into more of a powder and then put them in the sauce. I think that's going to work a bit better. But it's mainly as a thickening agent, really. Just because with the amount of lemon and just liquid content in the sauce, I wanted it to be have a little bit of a build up to the consistency, which it does. pH came out around 3.7. It was a slow drop on my pH meter. I had to let it sit there for a while, but then it stabilized at 3.7, which it doesn't always do that with sauces for me, and I'm not sure why it did that this go around. It kind of makes me worry that my pH probe isn't 100% hunky-dory, but yeah, so let's go ahead and crack this open and get a little sip on it before I have to hit the highway, which is here in a second. No one behind me, just on this little straight, so I'll go a little slow. Cross my fingers, no plug. Woohoo! That was a nice suction. If there was a plug, it just pulled it right down. Ooh, that smells good. Alright, here we go. Take a pull off this bad boy. So it is a little thicker. Very creamy. I think my only complaint so far with it, here, let me take another little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what others will think about on the pepper content. Didn't want it to be, whoop, that was a bump. Didn't want it to be like super duper lemon forward. And I actually wanted it to be a lesser of a heat level sauce. But I think it ended up being close, like a 3 or a 4 on like the average Dro scale. So I could use less Scotch brains and like use like a quarter less or so of Scotch brains and add one more yellow bell pepper, which is another ingredient that I use. Anyway, so there's bits in there, there's still seeds in there and whatnot. I would say my main complaint would be that I feel like there's still a little bit of bitterness in there, which can be counteracted with some more sweet of some sort. I did use a hint of molasses and then some honey. As I was adding molasses, what I did is just like put the jar down on the scale, zero it, and start adding some, and then put it back on the scale and then measure how much I took out that way. And as I was adding molasses, it was making the sauce darker than I wanted it to be. And I was like, you know what? I'm not 100% sold on using molasses. I just wanted to experiment with it. So we got what we got in there, but then I added more honey to help counteract the bitterness. Mostly because I've got honey on hand. But also because I'm just familiar with the flavor and what it's going to do to the sauce, and figured it would be a good add to a lemon pepper sauce, honey. So throat burn at all. Just a little warmth. It's one thing I love about the Scotch Brain Pepper is it's mainly a mouth burn. Yeah, it's really good stuff, guys. I'm not sure where I want to go with it for now. Let's see, where am I time? 10 minutes? Okay, so I want to address something real quick. So, as I'm going more legit with making sauce and stuff, I'm coming to the realization that with the help of my close friend who's helping me do all this, he's kind of informing me and teaching me and giving me knowledge and whatnot, but it's coming down to like me realizing, like hard realizing that this homemade sauce stuff might have to kind of just be taken on a damper, at least on the social media level. That being said, if that's the case, any video that I've had on YouTube that has been about my homemade sauce stuff or sharing stuff, I'll probably end up taking down. It's a bit of a buzzkill, because what I really love about all of this is just sharing everything I do with everybody. If going legit means that I have to be like hush-hush secretive about stuff that I'm doing, you know, as test batches and whatnot, kind of certain things can be held to scrutiny from what I'm understanding. It's just like, okay, well, kind of a buzzkill, but I'm not gonna let it get me down, not yet at least, because I really want to kind of go fully legit with everything. So we'll see how it goes, but I just kind of want to give you guys a heads up. I made my social media stuff friends only for now, so I'm not gonna end up accidentally sharing something that someone else can see and look at or whatever that I don't want to. Cross my fingers that someone doesn't play a mole and try to become one of my friends that don't want to have friends. That's why I don't add friends that aren't friends with my other friends, you know, friends? Alright, so I'm about home where I'm gonna grab some mail, and I'm gonna be hitting some bumps, so my phone's probably gonna be going all over the place. I hope the jibber jabber wasn't too much of a jabber, more of a jibber, but either way, rock on, guys. I appreciate you hanging on for all the videos, and yeah, I'll be on probably later today. Alright, see you later.